you probably stand a better chance of success as a man by dating a younger woman.
So if intanga yakho ifuna wena, would you date intanga yakho?
Intanga yami ifuna mina right now.
Mhm.
Tricky one.
So dating older?
Nah, bogogo now. Because okay, what is the benefit to dating an older woman? If you can answer that.
And I think it's harder to try and change the nature of a woman by
Yeah.
saying, yes, you are like this, but for me, baby, because you love me, change.
So what age are older women fucked, guys?
What?
I rise, I fight, I win. What? Dark days can't hold me in. Yeah, no change.
We're back again for another episode.
Yes.
It's Pelele Bafet.
Yeah.
Welcome, Majid.
Yeah.
Deva is back. If you guys are not familiar with who David is, episode 1 and 2, he was the guy that was giving us that concrete advice about life. You know, you
True.
could put money on
True.
for the quality of the advice he was giving us. You know, famous for Amantomazana Funiman Tabis. That kind of line, you know. So look out for episode 1 and 2. That's where you'll catch him. But Spelele, he's Hara.
Sila.
All right.
Back at it.
How you guys doing, gents? Nicola?
It's another week, another episode. So yeah, excitement.
Excitement, yeah. And before I get into the rest of the gents and how they're doing, to subscribe, like, watch our episode OSW_older across all social media networks. We really want that subscribe, and feel free to comment, Majita. Any kind of advice, input is important.
Ask questions.
Jam and ask questions. Man, Majita
Engage.
online also, so they'll engage with you more with
Yeah.
my questions.
Yeah.
Drew, how is it that your bald head shines so bright? My bald head shines so bright because of my but a jam-packed season,
Good room
jam-packed
routine, but-
episode. Jam-packed episode. We've got our usual section.
Yeah.
My daughter, please help, where we anonymously give advice to those people that need it. My daughter for of a particular age in their 30s, upper 30s,
Yes.
giving credible advice to both women and men of all ages. Lovely perspective to give. We've also got, as usual, It Be a Man, our manly topic, which is going to be fire, Fana. Fire. Ngokala nge madoda, please help. Hot. And I'm actually finding in the DMs that we're getting that a lot of women are asking for advice. You know, so asking advice about the different stages and whatever that they're going through in life. Namachita trickling in there. So I love the lovely balance of things. Power.
Siyabonga.
So this one, Fanaf, Sanbonani madoda. I am a 38. I'm a 30. Oh, I'm studying food. You're English learner.
Colleague, it's a start.
I am a 38-year-old mother of 2 boys aged 15 and 9. My husband is a pastor and I work in corporate.
Okay.
I've noticed lately that my 15-year-old boy is distancing himself from me, closing himself in the room all day. One day, I knocked off early and went home, hoping to bond with him. I opened his room door to find him exploring himself. I was shocked. And
Then I'm
he
not
had
that
closed the door. It's been awkward for the past 2 weeks. What's going on with this boy?
I shine job in fun.
Then I'm not that.
I shine fun.
I
I shine job. Yeah.
Oh, which is at 15.
50.
Yeah.
He's discovering
Yeah,
himself.
he's discovering himself. Una, how many years? 15. Una 15. Oh, fine.
It's like he's thinking, it gets worse.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think also I'm ngale age futhi aqala ngayo. I think ukuthi uyabona futhi usakhula. And I think the more I cala sase early is gonna be more difficult ukuthi aqala ukubheka next door ukuthi umpumu khona. Or unthabiseng, you understand? So kunokuthi aloku abhekane naye, I think he needs to interact with other women, but yena ukuyishaya indlu uyayishaya. You understand? He could be possibly thinking of another, my man. He could be possibly thinking of another girl that he's afraid to approach. So, over the camera.
Yeah, whoa.
Hey, can you tell me? You must.
Mamela, dog.
Ave nathole omunye umuntu. Already.
Mamela, angithi i-oledi limthola
Ayenza right.
ayenza that.
Yeah,
He's
sure.
exploring himself.
Sure.
And he's not going to explore himself without having someone in mind.
Yeah.
Sure.
I said, now, that's the point that I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Ukhona abantu uyasaba ukuya kuya but
Okay.
Ufake.
No, mara.
So,
Okay, so emqondweni.
Emqondweni.
Ayiqede la.
Ayiqede.
Qede la mara endlini ekamereni.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Angaphume ayo.
Yeah.
Hlukumeza
Yeah,
umndeni.
mara what I'm the point also that I'm trying to say ukuthi if kunomuntu ambona ngaleyo ndlela and he would like to explore himself sexually naye, you should not be afraid to approach them.
How?
No, well, wait. So
No,
okay,
that's
so
my
the
perspective.
15-year-old, okay, fine, okay, we are Shiselo poison, 15 energies is the one.
Hi.
Are you saying that he must, if he's got the urges, he must go to the Mpumi what's the next door on a 15 or intanga yakho, whatever, and be like, "Awuncede."
Yeah.
Okay. No, I mean,
No, like,
angiyakuzwa nje,
No, that's
ngibeka
my
le-
perspective
ngibona
in it because I think the point that I'm trying to drive here is that makangazijwayeza ukuyenza like njala I feel like izoba yimpilo yakhe and then he'll be afraid to go and speak to other women.
Okay, izophela nekamereni.
I very much disagree with Malaika Tenozota from next door because that's a very dangerous thing to do for a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
So at 15, you are still discovering yourself. I mean, your body is changing. It's going through some changes. You've just discovered kunamanye feelings in now. So I mean, it's I think it's appropriate to then put an nice because it's the safest thing you can do at that age. So prekisa abantu phela you're at the age where we are prekisa already. So most of them knows doesn't chances of, and you are reckless. You're still 15. You'll probably get it pregnant. That is a fact. Your pull-out game is non-existent at that stage. So
That's she said.
what's that she saying? So I feel like as the mother, because that's who we're giving the advice to, I mean, she should just understand. In fact, this is where she should bring in a male figure in that situation, whether it's an uncle, whatever,
Or a husband,
ex-boyfriend, husband, whatever the case might be. Bring in a male figure. Ukuthi akukhulume naye, ukuthi mfana mawuyenza lento kukhiya umnyango. So your mother doesn't walk in that situation because it is an awkward situation too for him and the mother, both of them. Because I can't imagine my mother catching me back then, busy. It would have been the most horrible thing. I would have never looked at her in the eyes again. Those are the yeah.
Dog, how old did you break your virginity?
Ew, but that's a different story. That's a story for another day. Yeah.
Me, dog, I was 14, dog.
Yeah. But it's I think on your last episode you guys spoke about I think it was Nyanya that mentioned most of us were kind of raped,
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's factual. Because we broke our virginity with older women. So that's a story for another day. It's a lengthy story.
When you
that-
say we,
Wait, yeah.
No, I'm saying to most of generally,
Yeah.
not we here.
Oh,
I'm asking to Obani, but
yeah, not here.
yeah. But I feel like with this situation, I mean, he just to advise him, this because izophuka, things like that, and also lock that door, do it in private.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No more next one at 35.
No.
Futhi
leave
bekana
Mpumi-
35
Father,
phela
that's-
mbophisa.
Yes.
Leave
Leave Mpumi alone because that's not the time. I feel like
Yeah,
also
fair enough.
yeah that's also what messes us up because the moment you do it nompumi sozohlala ucabangana namantombazane just and we start access early. I feel like there's a stage for each and every act.
Matela.
Gunobaba, you mentioned
Yeah.
why him
Gunobaba.
him being a pastor doesn't. I think it helps the case, right? Okay, so she's feeling awkward because she's the mother and she does not know this thing. She's never experienced it. She doesn't know what it's like to be during that stage, right? So she definitely needs to lean to the husband to say, "Hey, Joe, how do we not normalize, but explain to him that these things happen, but let's moderate, let's do this and that." But her being awkward with him is also not abnormal because she doesn't know how to react. So her being awkward, yeah, I can't look him in the face. That's fine. It's not your. In fact, let's not even make it your place. Right?
Yeah.
You might not know how to approach it because to make him understand that you will go through. She never experienced it. She can't give him that advice.
Yeah.
But the father, pastor or not, he was there.
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah.
He knows this thing. So if anything, he's got perspective to say, Chief, I might not have been ish, but then again, she'll say, your mother said she saw you. That's going to be an awkward discussion for like, oh, so she told you. Oh, no. But that aside, it's, I hear that you're at the stage now. Clearly so much. What this means is, you go, you explain, you can't chase him to the point that you made to go and endeavor to learn. No, you're gonna explain what just happened, what it means for him going forward, and that it happens. It's normal. I mean, this thing has happened to me, so that he also doesn't feel like I'm the
out of
weirdo.
place,
Yeah.
So he must. The discussion is for her. It's tell the dude to speak to him. He'll know exactly what to say.
But
I
are you
love-
also?
I love what sorry Dave. I love what Drew mentioned about saying because there's a component of trust.
Yeah.
It's now like a very sensitive thing
That's
between
good, yeah.
the son and the mother. Because it's the mother that saw him pleasing or exploring his body.
Pleasing himself.
Exploring his body, right?
Yeah.
If she were to go to the dad and say, I saw your son, blah, 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 and his approach is to go to the son and say, your mother told me that you were. There's a component of trust that is very sensitive that will be broken between the son and the mother. So, I think that she should tread very softly around this issue because you want your son to say, okay, fine, my mother saw me doing some dodgy stuff, but she didn't go and babaza eat and she kept me safe as best as she possibly could.
I don't
So
think so.
the father needs to. I mean, I'm saying that
Yeah.
she must tell the father, but the father in his approach mustn't be like, "Umama kumtshele ukuthi."
Yes.
Also, trust will be broken.
That's why it's
Yeah.
okay.
Also,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, I agree with that approach, because that's what I wanted to comment on. Guti. Because obviously he knows. I mean, he's been growing up in that household. Umama utshela ubaba. It's Baba
You are a
handles
unit.
these situations.
Yeah.
They're a unit. He's expecting it, in fact, at
yeah.
that point.
Also,
But
if
obviously,
you-
yes, the approach is, as you said, he can't go and say, "Oh, mama, could you go and shy and club,"
Yeah, also
should
like back
approach
to
it from a
what
different
Dave is saying, ukuthi the man of approach is the most important one. Because if the mother, hayi, makashaya indlu abe laphaya, hey, yabona lo mfana lo ngathi sekaphuma endleleni, so now it's gonna be more than it was. So if the mother can go to the father and be like, "Eish, I think the child sekafika kuleso stage where he's actually exploring himself. I think now you kumele umzame ukumfaka endleleni nyana, at least abone ukuthi sekayakhula. It's not a bad thing. Or we've been there, so when I just don't normalize it."
But also, here's another perspective. Do you feel that it's encouraging mazokhuluma naye umtshele ukuthi it's okay? Yeah, we've all been through this. Because I mean, no one had to have that conversation with us, so we always felt guilty afterwards because it wasn't meant to feel like it was an okay thing to do,
Yeah.
and so you stopped. It's eventually, well.
Also, another
Kind of
thing, iya ngokuthi how also us we were raised, because such conversations are conversations we've never had with our parents.
Yeah, but we grew up in
That's
households. Maybe bezinganabo baba ezinye.
Yeah,
We
even
were
though
raised-
even
we were
for
raised by
those
single
that
parents.
have umama nobaba.
Yeah.
But when it comes to talking about sex in general, or so uyakhula ke manje, you're starting to explore yourself, we don't have those uncomfortable conversations.
But
Because
that's
there's
what
a
I'm
lot of things
asking. So having
needs
that
to change.
conversation, is it encouraging now to have that conversation with Undana and be like, it's okay,
Yeah.
such happens.
I think
Isn't
both
that
Drew-
kind of encouraging him with
both the mom and dad, I think both the mom and dad should take the child and then have this conversation.
Yeah.
Babo. Because if it's going to be just the father alone,
Yeah.
and then I also needs to hear a female's perspective. What
No.
he's also
Yeah. Mama kakhulu. I mean, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
Mama, I think I would do
So,
and then Zimbabwe.
to the point, it's not that. Also, Kenny mentioned how she expresses it to the father. No, this is the father's onus to understand how I should approach him without making her seem like she snitched.
Yeah.
She must just go, your son was doing this and walk out. The rest is up to him. He needs to manage that. But he needs to understand that I also need to protect her with him because I can't ruin that.
Oh.
So his approach will be, there's going to be a time, but you have to discuss it. You're not
have to.
saying it's normal, it's good, it's coming. No, but he also can't feel to the point that you're making. He shouldn't feel weird about it. He could start to feel I'm this, I'm weird. No, just say, these things happen. Him being a pastor, he can even make it
Would you have that conversation with your son?
100, and it won't even be hard.
Uzoyiqala kanjani?
Kanjalo, I would say there are certain feelings that are going to come
Yeah.
as you grow. This is what they will entail, because I know exactly how they will feel, right? They won't be easy. They will be embarrassing. I know. Do we overdo these things? That's why you kind of have to repeat its activity, but don't say you can't make it in such a way that the child feels like they've done something wrong, because they
Are you
haven't.
telling him that it's normal?
No, you are explaining to them that these things occur. There's a level of normality. In other words, it's almost inevitable, but you have to
Inevitable.
control it.
So
You're controlling it, but it occurring
No,
is
but
not weird. You're not weird. The fact that it happened to you, you're not weird.
Okay.
Izwenzakala mara. That's where you must repeat.
I like that approach. I actually like that approach because like it is a natural thing that happens to any boy child,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Your testosterone peaks, you don't know what to do with yourself, and there's a specific
you know
outlet.
exactly what
Yeah.
to do with yourself.
Yeah, you know exactly what to do with yourself.
What teaches us this?
Yeah, you know exactly what to do with yourself, and sometimes it's just weird. But
Yeah.
addressing it in the sense of which, look, it's natural for you to be at the phase that you are as a young man. You're going to go through this phase,
Yes.
right? It's not ideal that you are doing it maybe at the frequency that you're doing it.
Slow down.
Even more importantly, what the stimulation for it is for, right? Because I think it's even at that sensitive age where pornography and those kinds of things
Yeah.
as a stimulation
Yeah.
Yeah.
become
Online influence.
entrenched in a boy child's life,
Yeah.
and then it cleaves on them, and then before you know it,
Becomes
it's
a
been
problem.
20 years of porn,
Yeah.
right? And
I
it
mean,
becomes
at that point,
becomes an
you don't even
illness.
need porn. The orange nje ligcoke paint.
No, true.
That's true. At that
It's
point,
hormonal.
anything
yeah.
is
Nale
hormonal.
Nale
la
lapentshisi leliyana
Yeah.
ku-Instagram
At
leliyana.
that point, it's
Alone it's enough.
I mean, it's even like you know how like as a young boy,
Yeah.
women give off like pheromones.
Yes.
It's biological. You pick it up. You might
100%.
not be a particular scent, but there's something in the air that
Something.
stimulates you, right? So I think as parents, be mindful that when he's going through this particular phase, what is his stimulation, and protect him from that stimulation. And that's the role of the father to say, hey, dude, okay, if this is happening, what are you doing? Right? Because there's then the religious angle that says, don't do it, it's wrong, which is not going to help anybody.
Let's put it as
Right?
religious
He's
side.
just going to hide more and more and more and find porn in the darkness, blah, blah, blah. But
Yeah.
expose the light so that they can find a solve.
Ash,
Yeah.
tough one.
Yeah, tough one. Eh?
Yeah.
'Cause
Also,
having
to
that conversation-
normalize having such conversations in households, I think is
get to.
very important.
Yeah.
Because we shy away from having such conversations, and then when you see them doing it, now you are also held accountable as a parent because you don't open a safe space to have such conversations.
Yeah.
I understand that. I also feel like having too much conversations
100.
is
You trigger
yeah,
curiosity.
it kind of triggers curiosity and it makes you want to explore even more because you feel like this is normal and it's okay.
So kumele babhaqe kuqala.
I feel like they like
bazobhaka.
you know like how they tell about Tomazana hey, sex is you will die, don't have
Yeah.
sex, But if it does happen, there's 1, 2, 3 options.
Yeah.
But do not have sex. I feel like that should be the kind of conversation where you shouldn't. But if it does happen, at least lock the door, or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not coming across as encouraging.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's not
Fair.
something to encourage.
Yeah.
But it is something
Yeah,
to
no, 100%.
understand
I agree.
and unpack.
And acknowledge.
And let's not scare kids with I mean, although it's effective, I don't like
Yeah.
like
Works for us.
Yeah, mama.
Here's the thing, ukuthi uzomitha or isandla sakho sizowa, that kind of thing.
Is that what they said to you? Is that what they said to you?
Isandla sizowa, or whatever it is. Although it is really effective, I think these kids now are just a lot more smarter.
Yeah,
A lot
it's-
more
They're
smarter.
just a lot more
Yeah.
smarter. Got too much exposure to
Yeah,
things,
yeah,
so a real conversation, I think, is needed. Any time, obviously. It's like,
Yeah.
hey,
Now
this
they
is where you
Google
should
it. Yeah, what? Google angeke yenze nix. Just do it.
go. Producer, my producer.
There's just another aspect to this conversation that we haven't touched on. The fact that the kid is distancing himself, is locking himself in the room. I understand we talked about that aspect, but there could be another psychological aspect here. Why is he locking himself in the room for long hours?
Udlala ama-dice.
Manje
But
lady.
it also could just be like a
Yeah.
serious psychological
Oh,
issue
yeah,
that
yeah.
needs to be explored.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Having raised a teenager, it's a normal thing. Especially,
Yeah.
I don't know why. I can't explain why they do it, but because some of us never had our own bedrooms.
That's also true.
Yeah, so we didn't have bedrooms to lock, so I can't explain it from that point of view.
yeah.
But then, and I've seen this online as well. Teenagers literally do lock themselves in their rooms, and they prefer that. And it could obviously be the fact that they still trying to discover themselves. They're going through a change that they themselves don't understand. And at the point, they're like, I'm I just want to figure out what's happening with my life right now, with my hormones and all the changes that I'm going through. Second down, what the hell is happening? You know, things like that. So yeah, I don't think it's that deep. It could be in some other cases, but with normal teenagers, that is quite normal.
But also with a direct correlation to this scenario,
Yeah.
it could be that it hasn't been addressed. My mother saw this.
No,
My
but
mother
he was
saw
locking himself before then.
Well, was it not after? So
So
it's
even before then.
It was. Oh, it was before. Then he was doing the things. He was
Slap
preparing
up.
himself. Then he got caught. No, that's just teenagehood. Then no. I thought he started to distance himself after he got caught, and then he felt awkward with his mother.
Oh, okay, no,
that
yes.
would have made perfect sense.
No, he's
But if it
been-
was before, then he was
Yeah,
practicing.
no what's in Nakona does he also have a social life? That's also another thing I'm considering because
An escape.
they are introverts. They TV game, whatever, PlayStation 5. He locks himself in the room.
Yeah.
He doesn't have friends, he doesn't have hobbies. In keep that active.
Yeah.
That's why he can easily go back to this thing.
Especially abantwana basema-suburbs.
Yeah,
You know, 'cause-
I mean, I think it's also wise, we would see, more especially if you have a child that age, to have an activity outside of home.
yeah.
Yeah, but ukuthi aphume makabuye ukhathele akanasikhathi endlwane.
No, that's very true.
Yabo.
Izandla zikhathala.
Ukhathele yabona zimtrapile leziyana yabona ukwatile.
Oh, man.
So I think we've unpacked for the mom who's seeking advice, like the psychology and the dynamics that are at interplay. So how does she then get rid of the awkwardness? Besides the conversation, Yagababa, how does she as a mother get rid of the awkwardness of having seen boys are indulging in himself? How does she get rid of it? What advice did you give her?
It's a Diane discussion.
No, I feel like she needs to firstly talk to the father, obviously, because I think once she has that conversation with the dad, she'll understand what he's going through. Because at that moment, she doesn't understand. To her, this is weird and all of that, you know.
So how does she get rid of her awkwardness? with
That's
her-
why I think she lacks that education as well. So once she understands, you would know this is normal, baby. These things happens.
Yeah.
When I just act normal, yeah, you know,
Yeah.
don't
Just act
act
normal.
awkward and all of that, because then
Yeah.
it's gonna make him feel awkward as well, you know. Just be one of those things like, hey, when you know,
Yeah. And Nakona, it depends if she grew up with boys, mhlawumbe, you know, maybe she brothers. I mean, Nakona, maybe she grew up with sisters only. She
she
doesn't
doesn't
know.
know.
Yeah, she doesn't know. Yeah, but the only father figure was her father. Yeah, but so it's gonna be awkward for her. But at least kumele akhulume nobaba so that ubaba azokwazi to explain this whole entire thing, so she can also have a broader
She'll
perspective.
stop
of
shaking
what's
his
up.
hand though.
Wazobamba leso sinkwa
I know
wena.
now. I know now.
Manje vele tongue lasting tongue lethele it for slice.
Isandla sakhe saka-right.
And the thing is, Abu Mama, this is what I told like Abu Mama. Abu Mama will remind you in conversation.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's why you fail.
Angithi ngiphanga lesandla sakho sendlwane.
I mean, that was going to be my advice to the mom
Yeah.
on getting rid of it. Just act like it doesn't exist, never existed. You know, act like it didn't happen. But wait until he's like 30 and he's found somebody that he either wants to be in a serious relationship or marry. Wait for them to have dinner all together, make a public speech, and then saying, "Kumbula, when I'm 15." Actually, Rumi, explore. I'm glad that you moved on and you progressed to actual human beings. I mean, she could be that embarrassing.
Just don't throw it back in his face like every time you argument.
Yeah, use it once, like at a
Yes,
public
then,
event.
you know.
I know that's even bad.
No.
Embarrassing talk.
I'm only playing. we're going on to our topic. Be a man, the manly topic of the day. So the topic for today is dating your peers versus older women versus dating younger women. How must a man navigate this space?
It's a very interesting one.
It's a tricky question.
Shisa leyo. Konje bebini inobuthaka bom. Inobuthaka bom. Ikumbutaka bom. Taka bomb beyenza taka bomb.
Rub.
80s babies, 90s babies, taka bomb. Okay, anyway. Those that know the story of Taka bomb, hit me up in the comment section.
It was Tiger Bomb, not bomb.
Oh, Tiger bomb.
Yes.
All right, Dave.
With a BALM.
Yes.
Bomb.
Yes, Queen. Yes, Queen.
The City Cartoon Center. And the Chinese shop.
Oh, all right, Kenzo. I'm gonna let you fire the first shots. Dating your peers versus dating older women versus dating younger women. How must a man navigate this space?
Yes. It's a very tricky one, this one. And a very interesting one at the very same time, because I think, okay, if I'm going to go back to my personal experience, I think dating, if you are younger, dating older makes sense because we are cooler and then you're looking for a more matured girl. Because in times I feel like, man, you understand? So
Is this a man or as a woman?
as a man.
Oh,
Okay. So as a man, dating older makes sense because now it's a and then you want to prove what you can handle in Tombasana like a now. So when you are older, say now you are 35 because I'm 35 now. I think dating
I'm done.
dating. Yeah, I know.
Sure.
Nizagash. Yeah, well, so yeah, I think dating younger makes sense. I think me as I'm 35, dating someone who's like 28 will make sense for me because I'm looking at other factors. In terms of ukwenza umntana, izinto ezifana nalezo yabo.
Yeah.
But I'm not only just limiting it to that umntana nje kuphela, but I'm also looking at the fact ukuthi longevity yomuntu engizobanye naye. The younger she is, she's gonna be younger naye uzothi 35 mina senginabo ma 40 something, so I think she still stand like usase fit to be raising my children. So I can say right now dating younger for me makes perfect sense.
And then intanga zakho phela ushilo Sean, that's
Yeah, intanga zami zigrand yabo, but I feel ukuthi nabo bona, I feel like intanga zami nabo bafuna yabona older in most instances because I think it's within female nature not to they only date younger when they are on their 50s because no one is trying to date them.
So if intanga yakho ifuna wena, would you date intanga yakho?
Intanga yami ifuna mina right now.
Mhm.
Tricky one. And a very interesting one at the very same time because if then she can procreate, fine, then we can. But I'm not, the heads I was saying in the beginning was I'm not only limiting it to age, but Mina, if personally, preferably I would go for a younger one.
so it's a procreation discussion.
I think it's a procreation discussion more than anything else. She can be my age, but if she can procreate, then good. But if then there's gonna be complications, then because you just test a little into less.
But I mean, you make more selective partner other than the procreation component.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well up between young people.
Yes.
peers and older,
100%.
that's-
Yeah, I totally understand. That's why I need to. I'm looking at it from a procreation perspective.
Because that's where you are right now.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well. Yeah. You see,
Are you intimidated by an older woman?
I'm not intimidated by an older woman. The reason why I'm saying I'm not intimidated by an older woman is that bunalento lokuthi siyintanga and then siyakhula sisonke, but there is that thing. I think it goes back to how dala izintombi zenziwa ngakhona. You would marry a person that is younger than you. Nganingi manje kushade umuntu okuntanga.
And that's fine.
And,
There's reasons for that.
Yeah, there's reasons for that. And I think I still stand kuleyo nto leyo because I may not be deeply rooted in my culture, but I do believe ukuthi within my culture, this is how things are done, and I've seen how it has benefited, most especially.
And it's
About
not just
this-
biological, ne? It's also physical, it's also mental.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's biological basically.
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah.
I'm coming from that perspective.
Yeah.
well,
No, I agree with that because and I've always been, I mean, I've always advocated for, not advocated, but tried and explained why it's necessary for an older man, obviously, to not then date within his age group. And by older, I mean, I'm talking about guys that are over the age of 30. Do not go and marry someone that's your age, because that's a recipe for disaster. That's my opinion, Nakon. Because obviously, must start on maturity levels. First of all, women matures way faster than us, I think.
Yes.
We've spoken about this. And they mature way faster than us. So a 25-year-old is the equivalent of a 30-year-old man, you know?
yeah.
So dating a 30-year-old now not 30 is just a recipe for disaster for me, not because clash at some point. Besides the baggage that they come with, because these people
Oh, what's that?
have been through so many. No, which is true. They've been through so many relationships, you know. And one thing, and I've heard a couple of women say this, you know, they get affected by each and every relationship, and it changes them.
Yes.
It changes who they are. By the time I feel good 35, leyo muntu akasana next to offer. Seka empty inside. And not to say every woman, you know, but generally. Seka empty because she's gone through so much pain, and it's hard for her now to
Sakabdala
switch.
kahle kahle.
Mdala. Ubona nge-intro.
Ayo.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Yeah.
it's for me, like it's that, because so it's so hard for you as a 35-year-old man that's looking to settle down with someone and be allowed to lead in a household, you know, because it's going to be very difficult for the 35-year-old woman to also let you lead, because you guys walked the same route at the same time, you are walking the same path at the same time. So for you to say a left, you know, without a reference, you know, because you've never been ahead of her. You've always been at the same level as her. It's going to be very hard for her to let you lead, because she's like, was it like to go left to go right? You know, she'll always question your decisions. She'll always argue with you because of that. But a younger girl that, you know, looks at you and says, okay, Tabiso has been through this. He's got experience.
Yes.
Tabiso might be 40, you know, he's got a 10-year age gap or whatever the case might be. He's got a 10-year experience that I don't have. So if Tabiso says, yeah, that I can actually, Tabiso says, let's go left, I'll go left, I'll follow Tabiso. And that's very important for men, because a house that does not let you lead as a man, you know, is kind of depressing. If I can put it like, for a lack of a better word, it's very depressing, because emotionally it's gonna damage you. It's gonna cause you to like start distancing yourself from them, end up cheating and all of that. Nama young is you know, things like that.
I mean, yeah, I mean, those are, I think those are key things that you mentioned, right? From your perspective, and key observations that could actually relate to people's lives today. You know,
100%.
That as a man, if you want to lead, you ask yourself, what is the condition that will enable me to lead in the best way? And when you look at it at a black and white level, it's not to have two CEOs, because then the company is split in terms of decision and leadership. You know,
100%.
I think it also makes perfect sense to what you had mentioned, to say the leader must be worth leading.
Yes.
Yeah.
The leader must be worth leading for the person to the
follow.
young person to submit. And I think even equally for your peer to be led by a peer. There's certain qualities that your intanga yakho yomfazi must have within her to allow intanga yakhe age-wise to lead her. There's certain qualities, and it's very hard to have
Very
those
difficult.
qualities. And that's why you don't see a lot of peer-to-peer relationships living and thriving in society.
Unless ublande emakhaya.
Yo,
What's
No, guys. I mean, if ulanda intombazane emakhaya, that's your peer.
so there's a lot to teach someone like
There's
that?
a
Is that what
lot.
you're saying?
Well, I'm saying there's a lot to teach someone like that.
Oh,
She's
if-
not exposed.
or if you're like a city urban person and she's not an urban person, there's
Yes. Then there's
also
a lot.
new things.
Yeah,
to do.
and also nokuthi wasemakhaya, remember those people are raised to take care of a man a certain way. Yeah, also
Yeah.
they are easily directed.
I
to-
love like goal.
More especially if she earns more than you.
Oh,
Ngintana.
man.
Ah, gosh,
As
that's
of
troubling.
Burma, but the other day, I mean, there's also dangers to bringing obviously a peer from Emakaya.
Yeah.
Eventually, she'll wisen up and start seeing better men, older men that can give her more than you've given her.
Oh, yeah.
But generally,
Mandela,
that's the way.
What are those qualities? You mentioned that you need to have certain qualities for you to be able to lead in Tangayako. What are those qualities? I'm interested in that.
I think when you look at it at a peer-to-peer level, right? To lead in Tanga Yako, somebody has to take a step down, right? Because in a place where it's like in your two, yeah, exactly. Where's the
Pulling in
yoga
different
going to go,
directions.
right?
Yeah.
Especially when things get tough. It's good to have dual direction, but at some point when things get tough and one kanda wants to go there and one kanda wants to go there, nobody's going to go anywhere, right? It's similar thing. You've got two CEOs, the direction of the company is not going to go in any particular way. One CEO needs to be elected to drive the agenda of the organization. So the attributes that one, I believe, needs to have as a woman who is married to her peer in age is she needs to then submit and be willing. So the willingness to submit is an attribute.
For her.
It's an innate qualitative attribute for you to say, okay, I understand, Guti, I might know better, I might what, I might be challenging, I might be highly opinionated, whatever. But for the benefit of the relationship, I'm willing to take a step back and create the room for my man to create his capacity to lead, develop his skill sets as a leader, and then lead the family. So it's an attribute of a woman to say, I'm willing to take a step back.
Which I don't see happening.
Which is very rare.
Yeah.
I mean, and then another thing is, another thing maybe that I could talk to is because males and females mature differently at different levels. A lot of the things that her male peer is going to want to do might be like upetwa ubungani type of thing, right? So for her, I think there's a level of consciousness that she needs to be aware that mentally I might be ahead of my partner. So I always need to try and meet him at the point that he's at. And it's a draining thing, but it requires a level of consciousness where you are able to say, if my guy is a little less mentally mature as I am, because I'm a woman, I've matured more. This is where I'm taking it back to, and I'm always trying to meet him at his point and then develop up alongside him.
Yeah.
Because the last thing a guy wants is to be made to feel like he's immature at every
Like,
turn.
which will happen.
I mean, those are
No,
two
which
things
is-
that I can point to.
Yeah. And the second one that you just mentioned, I think that's where it's more, especially if the woman doesn't feel ukuthi the guy is also stepping up to her level of maturity. That's where she's going to resent her. Yeah. But that is always the case.
I'm going to I won't call it a caveat. I'm going to answer the producer's question in the aspect of him. So you want to know, if I may, his attributes that would make him capable to lead a peer, not what she needs to be in order to be led by him. So in terms of him, I'll say this, and you said it earlier on. I would say it's a experience, exposure, and literally you need to have been there, done that. Me and you could be the exact same age, but I have done things in my life that you haven't that I can feed you information on. So you can still benefit from me because I've been there. I'll give you a practical example. Let's say I'm 21, she's 21. I've bought a car. One day she has no idea, how do I go about applying for a car loan? How do I get it? All of those things that she needs to do in her life at that point in time, I should be able to feed into her, and then she will benefit because I've done it before. So me being more experienced in certain life stages will benefit my peer any day. You could be older than me, but if I've done those things and you can learn from me because I've done them, I can then date someone older or my peer. So I must have been there. I must have done that. I must be, unfortunately, way more knowledgeable. It is unfortunate, but I need to know more than her at that life stage in order for her to feel that she can be led by me.
So
She must benefit.
to double click on that. So you say you've got about 2 peers.
Yeah,
35, 35.
sure.
Right. Are you saying that the guy needs to it's almost like you have the guy has to have an advantage.
Yes.
Which means Guti, they must be unequally yoked.
100%.
Right. So I'm using Bible terminology,
Yes.
but it
Yeah.
means Guti, they
Yes.
are not supposed to be at the same level.
100%.
So you're saying that a man must not date his peer that is equally yoked to him, otherwise
Yeah.
he'll have challenges.
He'll be in trouble.
He must choose a partner that is unequally yoked,
Yeah.
Yes.
less experienced with life,
Yes.
It's
less
still
travel,
conditions.
I'll tell you why.
Hence umfazi wasemakhaya,
economic,
you know?
less
I'll tell you why.
economically, what,
Yeah.
Yeah.
less sexually experienced, because that's a component
That's
of
going to be a tricky one.
Because, I mean,
that
it's-
specific one.
yeah, those are the aspects, I guess, of
Yeah.
some
A
of the
virgin,
relationships. that
preferably,
kind of-
yeah.
But that's not how you are led. Sexually wise, that's not so. To the point that we made earlier on is, in order for you to submit, it must be easy to submit. What you are asking of her to do is, although I am above, I must ignore all of that and become below just to submit to him so that he can still feel like a man. That's hard for her. And he's right, to the point that after you said that, he said that's not going to happen, because it won't happen. So ideally, that must have already been, you must already have reached or peaked sooner
Yeah.
at that age for her to easily submit to you. The example I gave, men, we want to drive fast. I mean, at the age of 17, I had my learners. I wanted to drive. I wanted to do those things quickly.
Yeah.
A woman, or the women I've dated, got their licenses much later. We are peers, but I had done all of these things before you did. So when you asked me about them, I said, babe, I know how to help you with that. She's benefiting from my life experiences, although we are peers. So I must have done certain things that she can benefit from in terms of life experience, knowledge, insight, whatever it may be. So that becomes easier. So to the question earlier on, is it possible? Yes. But the condition would be, I must be somewhere in life that is, you might need to be above average,
Yeah.
or you might have needed to done things sooner, so that the average 35-year-old woman has done not less than you, but can still benefit from being with you as a man who's her peer. You see?
It's
Yeah,
still
it becomes-
conditional though.
It is. There has to be conditions.
There has to be conditions.
But
Yeah.
that one was just around.
Yeah.
Pella, we discussed
yeah.
always go younger. If you are not to go younger, what would be the caveat? If I'm not going younger, I must know that if I speak to them, they will listen, because when I speak, my voice has girth. Why does it have
Then-
girth? It's
Yeah, but
coming
again,
from
that's,
someone.
That's where then you get more advantage when you
The
date
voice
a
must have
younger,
girth.
a girl, say
Yeah.
28.
Yeah.
Lapho already you are.
But by default.
by
but
default.
that's an
yeah,
easy
but-
one. Everyone, that's an
easy
easy one.
Yeah, hence the point that I'm trying to say is that it's not any just 38. Look, a woman, I feel, would see, if she really loves you, and then same applies to you. Utole, when did you say you got your driver's license?
My learners are
Learners,
17.
same age, 9.
Yeah.
She bought a car at 21.
Sure.
Already she got an apartment at 25.
Yes.
You understand? Now, you got all of those things.
Yes.
I feel even though she is at that level, she must be willing to submit to you, even though I figure
No,
level.
she does not have to be willing to submit to you. Just don't date her. We are not talking about how you must find your peer. If you are to date your peer, that must be your condition. You must be above what that definition of where we are at 20. You must be more than an average. You must be more than an average if you are to date your peer. So to your point, I think it's harder to try and change the nature of a woman by
Yeah.
saying, yes, you are like this, but for me, baby, because you love me, change to fit our relationship.
And
It's
those
not
also
going to-
because uyakufuna, but
That is
eventually she will
short time.
show her colors.
It will come out.
Yeah.
Ah, so
Yeah.
when ungana what- it does not. It's not ideal.
So I mean, I hear it, and to it I say, it's an ideally that would be an ideal situation, right?
Sure.
And the reason I say that is, in Cyril's economy, right, where
Yeah.
where the average, let's call it the average girl, child, woman over the past 15, 20 years
Yes.
has been advanced
Yes.
economically,
Yes.
opportunities, whatever, and has, I think the ladies are now closing the gap, if they have not closed some of that gap, and have exceeded men.
Yeah.
Ngoba nathi amajita sabi isikole, we drop out
Sure.
at matric, we don't go to
Yeah.
varsity,
Yeah.
we don't further our studies. The ladies are furthering their
Yeah,
studies.
fast.
you know,
But
they're
also
fast.
stats- Our stats kind
And
of
they
show
get
that
pushed.
women are the most that own
100%.
property right now,
Yes.
the most educated currently.
Exactly. So the reality is, if you're an urban man of a particular type, your woman would be higher than you
Yeah.
from a yoking and
Then don't
exposure
go for.
perspective.
This is where we're at.
Yeah, but that's the conversation we're having. So your age mate right now
Yes.
is at a higher level than you are currently, and whether you like
Maybe
it or-
not his age,
Oh yeah,
mate.
okay,
though.
not young. not ours.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
struggle
yeah.
shall be too. But the ones that came after us,
yeah.
you know, like they're on a different level right now.
Yes.
And they are well more educated, you know, financially they've got it figured out. And it's easier for women because they don't have to spend their money. Let's be honest.
They're spending
Yeah.
hours.
They're spending our
Some
money.
of hours.
Yeah, so
They've
it's
got
easier
their
for them
money
to
spending hours.
save and you know and progress in life much easier. So it's kind of difficult then to take someone. And I've had a conversation with a very interesting woman who's career driven and very successful. And she was like, the biggest problem is having to be a CEO is funny, you know, where you are in charge of a group
Oh,
of
yeah,
people
yeah,
and then go home and then told to someone that's
Eish.
you know that's the same as the people that you are leading at work. So that's a very difficult thing to do. So it's not easy to expect a woman who's on your level to then as top.
Or to not even be not on your level because
Yeah.
she's not at your level.
Yeah, she's not at your level because even if she seems like she's not at your level. She might be at your level financially, nanani, but she's not at your level if she's your age. She's already way ahead. She's already thinking, hey, let's go buy, you know, a plot somewhere, nanani. When we start polo at that time, because we are 30,
Yeah.
whatever the age might be. So I feel like it's very unfair to then
Something like
expect.
that.
Just don't date your age group. If I would say it,
Oh,
just don't date your
it's
age group.
sounding like don't date out of your league.
Yeah,
You can find
that's
yourself.
fine.
You can find yourself your peer who's 35, but don't date your league. Date
But okay,
under your league because your league is up dribble.
only
That CEO who's your
Yes,
age
yes,
is a CEO and you are not a CEO. You will see dust.
Yeah, so manje yeah ukuthi ubani usebenza kuphi. I think the point there
No, I mean,
yeah. No, my man.
I like it. I like it.
I do understand. I think the point that I'm trying to drive, and I fully understand you guys, and what you are talking about makes perfect sense. Hence, I'm saying ukuthi it's not to say so we can say ideally, but it doesn't mean ukuthi it's not possible for that to work out.
Yeah.
That's for if a woman is willing to submit. You understand? Because I think this thing it's more of a relationship more than ego. Driven ego ngoba yimi mina ngisebenza kubuphi. I think I've gotten this more than one. So I think if both parties can come to a certain thing, they would say, okay, you are here, siyalingana. This is how we can move together as a couple. You understand? Now, put what you have aside in.
Yes.
It's all about willingness to actually be in a relationship with that person. Hence, I'm saying also, it doesn't mean it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
But I feel it's wiser to date the younger because easily so by default.
Hey man, intanga zethu kunzima. Kunini sibhizi ngentanga
Hayi,
zethu.
intanga zethu
And yabona the young people, I think we concluded very fast. Date younger.
Yes.
Safika kuma-peers.
It's easy, babe. It's
Sathi
easy.
tra. Gabo i-marathon, gabo i-marathon. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's really, really tough. So it sounds like the advice is if you're going to date your peer, usazosebenza boy,
Yeah.
you will work, uzojuluka.
Kahle, you will never be successful.
Intanga
Black and white now.
Yeah.
I think if
So
you
I
want
want- I want-
peace, let's put it like if you want
Yeah.
peace,
Mhm.
then date younger because chances are there you'll have peace. And the reason why you're gonna have peace is because, I mean, I'm gonna put it in a way that's gonna sound very bad, but it's easier for you obviously to control a younger woman because that's
No,
initially that's what we are saying.
100%.
You know, we can beat around the bush, nani. That's what we're saying. In order for you
It's
to
cool.
be able to lead and you know
Leading
like
comes with a level of
yeah,
control.
it comes with a level of control. So it's easier to control a younger woman than untanga wako, because untanga wako now you need someone old that's gonna control it. And the only way a woman will let you control it is if she looks up to you.
Yeah,
She
and
can't
I mean,
look up to
there's-
someone
there's-
that's her age.
There's something to be said there, and there's two sides of control. There's the healthy control and there's an unhealthy control.
Yeah.
You know, there's good and bad there. So obviously, from a control perspective, you know, it's easier for somebody to follow and be led by somebody who exercises responsible,
Yeah.
loving,
Control.
care kind of control
Yeah.
because it is to the benefit
Yeah.
of the younger person.
Yeah.
Manje kulabo sister laba older, ngoba we didn't even touch on them.
Nah, bogogo now. Because
So dating older.
Is a no-no?
okay, what is the benefit to dating an older woman? If you can answer that, what is the benefit? Let's say right now you are 38, 37, whatever age you are right now.
Very young.
If you are dating older, you are dating 40 something. What is the benefit of you dating a 40 something year old?
Love.
I do true
What?
love. I mean, it could be this. I won't personalize it, but objectively speaking, love.
Konje. Konje.
Suppose the
Nigga,
muta-
fucking- No, I'm not objective.
Okay, hard.
Ngiyazazi,
Let's
ngiyazazi
be
le
hard.
outfit.
Sure. Let's see.
So, because you compare, right? When you compare, you're like, okay, that older person versus her younger peers is not gonna sweat me and say, why didn't you answer my call? Why? There's a stage there.
We're talking about a life partner. Then we're talking in a temporary situation.
No, I mean, I'm
Life
thinking
partner.
from a temporary perspective.
From a temporary
From a
that's-
life
that's
partner
not a-
perspective, I mean, yeah, izobanzima khuphuke. Like
Yes.
it's gonna be hard for you as a man in his 30s or a man in his 40s dating somebody who's 5-10 years older
Shwabana
than you.
faster than you.
They get older
Getting
than you
kids
quicker.
will be a problem.
Yeah, procreation. I mean, there's no benefit. I'm not saying that there's benefits, right?
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying there's going to be
Menopause is around the corner.
there's
I think
something,
that's the
it's
only
already there.
benefit.
It's already there.
It's already there, but
Let's get
like I'm saying, Guti, dating older does have some benefits. Unfortunately, to your point, it's only temporary benefits. It's not
Yes.
long term.
What are those benefits if you were to name them?
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's like this lady is said she understands herself. I'm not
Yeah.
why are you not answering my what,
Yeah.
right? She also does not require any of your resources. So I'm getting the petrol or whatever. She's there for the quality.
That's a benefit, right?
She's there for the quality
Top.
of Kenny. Like
Oh, yeah.
Kenny Mina now, where I don't need anything. I've got my own. Right?
Uzotshela wena petrol.
I'd rather so tell her now when it does on.
And as I said, you are benefiting.
And so on and so
for
forth,
that.
right? It's just less stress of
Oh, yeah.
you as a man.
But do you see why we didn't mention older women? Because there's literally no benefit in dating. Because well, we talk about
Long
life
term,
partners, long
yes,
term. Yes.
yes,
We are talking about long term.
Yeah, long
From
term.
the youngins to our peers.
That's why I said
And
there's
older
no
women that
hope
they-
for older women. That's
No, there's hope.
No, they need love too.
No,
man.
where is hope then?
There's hope.
Well, to
There's
love.
hope in the older men. I mean, they must look at 60-year-old. If
Older
you're
men are
40,
looking at 25-year-olds, dog.
a 60-year-old will not necessarily want if they want to settle. I don't know about
That's that long-term
But
discussion.
temporarily,
there's a
obviously, the
long-term.
long term they'll look at 35 to 40-year-olds and they'll take those.
Fair
Because
enough.
nabo sebanabantwana bafuna abantwana, chances naye unabantwana lona futhi ukhathele naye bakhathele kwethu bazokhathala
So
together.
what age are older women fucked, guys? What? Like, wait, is it 50?
So no, say it again. Ask again.
What is the age where older women are literally fucked? More especially from the dating pool.
Oh, as in
And
Oh,
long
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
also
No,
No, not
also-
okay.
Whoa. And also
Before
looking
Kubeka,
at-
before Kubeka, oh. So when you say effed, no, you mean not like
No, not
F-
literally.
yeah.
No,
Is
it in
no,
trouble?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry for
That's
the
not
viewers
beep.
out there.
Oh,
No,
so when
what-
when,
the
when
point
are
that
they
I'm-
at a disadvantage?
Yeah,
Yes,
at a
oh,
disadvantage.
okay. I get Kubeka.
That's a good question.
Yeah,
I don't think
because
it's for.
I think bra sebacancelile labantu laba from ngathi sebacancela from 35. And they all do need like long-term relationships. More especially the older you get, is the more stable they want to get. They don't also gravitate towards people their age. They go towards the younger people.
Angithi
So
that's
mina lento
something
lenzama
that
ukuyisho ukuthi abobani ke bona laba abafanela bona abazokhuphuka nabo.
Okay, Ken, I've got a hypothesis here.
Yeah.
We are assuming in this conversation that the man in this case wants to be the leader.
Yes.
That assumption is not standard for every man.
Yes.
But
Yes.
for most men,
For most men, but there are
Generally.
other men out there. I've got solid examples I can tell you offline, obviously, of men that are okay to be actually led by women.
Which is not a problem.
Okay,
So-
listen, we are not arguing with the anti-men that are okay with being led. I mean, right now we're taking a general population of men, and that's what we're talking about. Generally, 90% of the men. We're not talking about the 10%.
Yeah,
that's,
the outlier.
Yeah, you know, the unique ones.
But,
Call them unique.
I have a rebuttal for that. For the way things are going right now in the economy, with women being empowered, you do realize that there's a certain like cohort of women
Yes.
that are that are progressing at a faster pace than the same level of men. So there's going to be a stage in life where women are actually more dominant than men.
No, true, because the guys want to
Especially
be
black
rappers.
women versus black men.
Yeah.
The issue.
No, yeah, sure. There's
So,
gonna be
okay.
that void there because men want to be. I mean, right now we've got. This is why I feel like it's very important to also try and also uplift the younger generation of
Yes,
men right now
yes.
because the focus has been so much on women to a point where women are actually now, overlapping the
Fair enough.
performance of men, of so-called men, because I call them boys. They're still boys.
As they should evolve, but there needs to be a balance. But yes,
There needs to be a balance because now you've got a group of boys that just want to be rappers, and these girls are like,
Getting the
doing bigger
PhDs
things.
and
Yeah.
on.
So it's gonna become very hard for them. I feel like at some point, yes, unfortunately, there's gonna be that imbalance, and the roles will be reversed at some point. You'll have stay-home dads, and women going to work, and then you'll have that clash, manja, of how do I let you lead when you are not really in a leadership position,
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
So,
But yeah,
When you can't speak from a point of authority economically, because
Yes.
I think leadership is multifaceted, right? It's not you can't, because you have no money, you can't speak.
Yes.
Well, as in, because you're a stay-at-home dad and you're not bringing any bacon to the table. you can't
Ntombazana
speak.
funa imali. Because
Yeah,
that's why
no,
that's
I
why
get it,
bathi kuhle bendoda
but
iinkomo zakhe.
Inkomo zakhe,
Yes.
which there's a big component of truth to
Big,
it,
huge component.
realistically, right?
Women want security. What is security?
Money,
Finance,
yes,
yes.
but it's not the only thing that defines what leadership
Yeah.
is, right? There's many battles out there that have a lot of money.
Yeah, no,
But
true.
access about bar, like they can't lead their families. But busy, maybe as an example, promoting multiple sexual partners within the dynamic of their relationship.
Khuluma ngesithembu.
No, not as tame. Just like it's not even as meaningful as that. Just
Okay.
as let's have a do some meanwhile Jordan mood, right?
Yeah.
And that for me is like it's a lack of leadership and wisdom because it's just reckless as a man. That man might have money, but he does not have leadership attributes. So there's components of leadership that are not economically derived, and we just need to be cognizant of all of them in weighing up what leadership is.
Yes, and
Yeah.
what wanting to be led also comes with.
But your sexual preferences, do they take away from your
Beggar, as an
ability to lead?
I'll
Because
use a-
I feel like that's
I'll
sexual.
use
That's
a-
a different thing.
No, I
Threesome
think,
and
I think leadership is all encompassing because you're saying you want to lead somebody,
Yes.
right? So if you say and I'll use the I'm trying to find another one, but the threesome component of it, right?
Yeah.
If when as a responsible, wise individual, as a man,
Yeah.
you say, let's let somebody who's going to spice up our life, right?
Mhm.
The things that could possibly happen, because you're not preempting what will happen in the future. What will most likely happen in the future is that you're introducing somebody who's not the same as your wife physically,
Yeah.
right? You then expose yourself to comparing this little side dish that you brought into your relationship with your wife. What if she's younger? What if she's physically more attractive? All of a sudden,
But let's
you are
be
now.
honest,
No,
it's
let me finish. So all of a sudden now you've created a scenario where you're not valuing your partner as you should because you've brought in a third person. That's a wisdom thing, right?
But don't shun king.
But-
They can just be king. Don't shun
Yeah.
king.
But
No,
but what I'm saying is that king
yeah,
comes
yeah,
king
yeah.
comes with ramifications.
It does.
And if you're a person who leads from a impulse perspective, you might not preempt that, and it might actually destroy your relationship. When you want to have
And
fun,
also
it's a
thinking
king,
from
but
last.
then you destroy
well.
your family and you destroy your relationship.
Yeah.
That was good.
Ma-
Umfazi was just trying to
But
make you
okay,
happy by saying,
I'll
okay,
argue
we're
with
saying
I'll
this.
argue that with men cheat anyway, right? So he could either be doing that somewhere, in some dark hidden room without his
Yeah.
wife knowing,
Mhm.
or he brings in that woman and both of them enjoy the situation. But either way, he's exposed to this other kind of girl. No, he'll start comparing. Nigga has been cheating throughout
That
his
is if he has
relationship.
been cheating. Yeah.
If he has been cheating.
Yeah, generally, you said generalizer right now. Generally, a guy will then now and then, go out and especially, I mean, if he's been with the same woman for many years, there's chances are he will, fall victim to these kind of women that that lure you with their,
Maybe
So,
in the end,
but I'm saying, so when you say which when he'd leave his woman, and we know this, and we've argued this before, men don't kind of look at sex the same way that women do. So we don't look at it from an emotional side of things. For us, it's literally what that is. It happens there and then. We forget about the person. We still go home to our loving wives. I've never been married, so I'm not talking about myself. We still go home to our wives and we love them. Clearly.
Yeah, that's sometimes it happens. Sometimes you catch feelings for the person that you've
It
decided
is
to
sometimes.
introduce.
We have to make that.
And then kanjalo sekaphumile sister girl, because you in your wisdom did not protect your family and
That's
your
10.
wife from that exposure.
And also, sorry.
Again.
Back to Lentolo, because it's also for the viewers at home. You said women that are 50, it's gonna be guys that are willing to be led by women that can stand a chance to be actually dating those women. That's what you are saying.
Well, they're deciding to.
Yeah, if they are deciding to. Oh, okay. No, I just wanted to come to, because I wanted to know Uguti, because we've been disqualifying them so much to a point where I feel Uguti, so I wanted to actually find out Uguti, what type of men would go for those types of women.
Older men. Men that are older than them.
Hey, basesekhona.
Yeah,
I mean,
bakhona. There's
I mean, and the reason
there's widows.
and the reason I ask and say, so say let's say you're a 55-year-old woman,
Yeah.
right? 55-year-old woman. If you look at the Stats SA report from 2022, it says men start dying off at like your 55, 60.
Yeah.
Life expectancy drop.
Women stay alive, men die off,
Yes.
right? And the let's call it the contribution of women to men reduces drastically to the tune of, I think, something like 80%, 20% when they hit 80, something to that effect.
Yeah.
So abana ma option, right? The older they get, the less options they get, because amadoda ayashona, they literally die.
Yes.
You know, so for them it makes sense to look back. And also it's compounded by the fact that a man who is, if she's 50 or 55, a man who's 65 is taking some kind of pill.
Which is okay.
Which is okay.
I mean, he's taking some kind of pill, and the ladies are generally healthier
Yes.
At that stage.
than males at that age. So,
Nah, that's the part I need to understand. But yeah.
yeah. Yo, Machita si ringile right?
But it's fine.
So, as a close, Drew, what would you say to a man in final terms when he's comparing, should I date younger, should I date peer, should I date older? What would you say to him?
So
In 30 seconds.
I'll 35. It depends on what you're looking for, right? When you're looking for a partner, you're looking for more than just a person of another human being. You're looking for things. You could be looking for stability. You could be wanting to be led.
Yes.
So when you make that decision, ask yourself, what are you looking for? And whether or not that age demographic comes with that. If you want someone, I want someone to assist, grow. I want someone to lead. You might want to nciphisa your age from younger than you and lower. Because if that's what you're looking for to do in a relationship, those women above you won't have that. So ask yourself what you're looking for in a relationship, even when it comes to purpose. Do I want long term? Do I want temporal? I think it was a couple of episodes ago, we spoke about how very young people will explore and want older women for different reasons. So there is someone that wants that, but they're much younger. So that 18, 19, 20-year-old might want an older woman for different reasons, but that same desire will diminish as he grows older. So it depends on what you're looking for at a point in time. So if you're looking to lead someone, go younger, or just know that you're so experienced that everyone can benefit from your knowledge. Then you can look for your peers or above, knowing that you've got that.
Okay.
What you're looking for should matter.
Dave?
I feel
What
like
would you say?
you should then ask yourself, do you want a successful relationship or unsuccessful relationship? Because a successful relationship is where a man feels like a man in the relationship. So when you allow yourself to be led as a man, that takes away your manliness, your manhood. Because now, what's your purpose in that relationship?
Yeah.
You know, because you are
do you
supposed to be the
believe?
protector, the provider, and all in all, that's put on us as men, as unfair as it is. But once that element has been taken out of there, then what's left?
What's the
An empty shell, that's all you are. So she has control, she has power over you, and you will never feel safe or feel comfortable in that position. No matter what, I don't care what the benefits are. She might be giving you money, buying you cars, but you will never feel comfortable like in that situation because you are not in your ultimate.
Something's missing.
Yeah, something is missing.
Okay. So you're saying
So I'm saying what to you.
young.
Date younger because then at least there is that level of respect because respect is very important for you, and they bring in
For us men,
peace.
I like that.
They bring in peace, Lo mdala manje you are now because niyintanga, and that's fair. It's right. Vele mina argue now because now I was with them at the same time.
Yeah.
So at least lo mncane, you guys you've got a lot to bring for her, and now she looks up to you. She respects you because of that.
That matters.
Kenzo,
100%. I
Which
agree.
one?
I
Which
agree
age
with Dave. Young, actually. Young. So yeah, 25, 6, 7, 8. I think that's
Between
my
your
fair
30s,
limit. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's a perfect age to play around if you want to have a happy
Yeah.
relationship. So yeah, and also from exiling into ifana nalezo, yabo, I think they also play a huge role. Yeah, more especially from the culture that I come from. So yeah, I think that's the most important thing.
Oh,
So,
and
yeah,
I think
sorry. And before us, I'm a pedophile. When we say younger, we're talking about relatively.
yeah, I need to see
Not when dated 30, yeah.
No, yeah, that's
Yeah.
why 25, 28, I think
Younger
that's...
than you.
Yeah, younger
Yeah.
than you.
Yeah,
Not,
it's still younger
not
than...
13, 14, 15,
Yeah,
16.
yeah.
Yeah,
Not Zobe level.
yeah, I think you guys mentioned some really important things. I think if you are considering younger versus your peer versus older, first thing you need to do, like Drew rightfully said, think about what it is that you want for yourself in that relationship, right? If it's something serious, then you need to make sure you think about what it is that you want. And then secondarily, like David said, it's going to be uphill, There's certain things that will impact your relationship based on the choice that you made.
Yeah.
Whether it's younger, whether it's middle, it gets tougher with the different age groups as you are dating your peer and older. But there are practical things that you need to consider
Always.
when you want to date your peer and somebody older, just as it is. It's relatively similar for young women. You have to be conscious and cognitive. And to what Kenny mentioned, konama practicalities. If you are trying to have babies, if you are trying to lead and be the only leader within the household, etc., those are some of the practicalities, qualitative, quantitative, practical, impractical, lovely things that you need to consider before you make a decision.
Okay, can I bring it back here, ne? Because I think the whole purpose of this, first of all, which you said in the beginning, was for us to share our experiences, right?
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Yeah, our experiences. So now, based on our experience, what has proven to be the more ideal kind of relationship? I
haven't given my opinion, so the verdict is still out.
Was it the younger, older, from personal experience? I'm not talking general because we've been generalizing.
I'm going to generalize, but there's going to be a component of personal.
Yeah.
I really do think when you look at it at a black and white level, right, when you're void of emotions and you look at it at a black and white level, you probably stand a better chance of success as a man by dating a younger woman. It gets more complicated when you're dating your peers because there's a lot more things you need to be wary of, cognizant of. The person also needs to play certain levels of lowering herself, increasing herself, whatever. There's dynamisms there that are heavier, and obviously older. Long-term relationship is not the most feasible. So as a dude, as a guy, as a man, I'd be like, if you can date younger, date younger. Although you might not know where love man,
love
so
is
black and white it is
not
what it
get
is.
Use your logic.
So on that note of and use your logic, it's been real, guys. I think we had a really nice discussion.
Yeah, this was
discussion. Give us your opinions, man. Let's chat online. Give us some comments there on YouTube. It's been real. Subscribe, OSW_older on all social media platforms, including TikTok. It's been real. Very much.
Nazo.
Hola.
Easy.
Easy.